Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at Mega Dragonite. So Mega Dragonite was announced a while back, I'm pretty sure. I don't actually remember when it was announced, but it kind of popped up on my Twitter feed today, and I was like, wait, hold on, that's not bad. And you might take a quick glance at the card and kind of just write it off, because, you know, 2 energy retreat cost, Mega Pokemon, 3 prizes, and then the attack cost is quite awkward. Discard 20 from this Pokemon, 303 damage, alright? So, at first glance, it isn't great, and I would agree. However, the ability, Sky Transport, once you're in your turn, you use this ability, and it's a switch. It's a free switch as an ability, and that is really cool, right? It just means you don't lose to any deck ever that has, tries to lock you, which is great. It means you can abuse cards like Tatsugiri, which says once during your turn, if this Pokemon is an active spot, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, reveal a support a card you find there, and put it into your hand, shuffle the others back. You can abuse cards like that, right? And I think this card actually might be pretty good, right? You can play Mega Kangaskhan, slap them in active, right? You can draw 2 cards, and yeah, I think it's honestly a really decent card. And you might be thinking, well, there's already a card that looks like this in the format, and that is the Mega Manectric, right? Mega Manectric is basically the exact same attack, which with Right as Blasting, which does 200 damage, but you can also discard all 3 energy, and if you do 330. And I think that is not bad. However, the problem is with this is that it only has 330 HP. And 330 HP is not a very difficult number to hit in this format. Dragapult, Phantom Dive, plus Dusk Noir takes a knockout on this. Charizard can take a knockout on this. There's quite a few decks that can hit this number, right? And honestly, it's not a great Pokemon. You know, it is also a lightning type, which means you just get ran over by fighting types, and honestly fighting types right now aren't in a bad spot in the meta because obviously Kangaskhan is running about, so you can get teched for this. However, Mega Dragonite, it's a dragon Pokemon, which means it doesn't have any weakness, right? However, obviously it does get hit by Clefairy, but Clefairy, honestly, I think it's difficult to set up for some decks. The only deck that can properly abuse Clefairy is the Gardevoir, right? And honestly, I think Gardevoir, you probably don't have the worst time at a matchup, right? You have 330 damage, which is one-shotting Gardevoir, and you can play other 1 prizes with this deck. So the thing is with the Lightning Energy, you might be thinking, well, how do we power that up? And I think right now the main way to power it up would be with the, well, Dynamotor, right? You can also play things like Crispin if you want, but the thing is just 330 damage is just good, right? It is just pretty damn good. Right, if we slap something like a Defiance Band on there, you're hitting 360, which is one-shotting most of the Stage 2s in the game now, like most of the Mega Stage 2s as well. But the best thing about the 330 is that you're one-shotting every single basic and most Stage 1 Megas as well, right? If we take a look at Mega Manectric, 330 HP, you're one-shotting that. If we take a look at Mega Lopunny, 330 HP. And this is a big Pokemon in the format. I think it's going to be really useful in the format. And it's also another talking point I want to say. Gale Thrust, I think this card can be used with Mega Dragonite as well. Gale Thrust is a pretty decent attack, 60 damage, but you do 230 if you move from the bench. And you can move from the bench pretty often because, well, you have a free switch, right? Every single turn. So you can abuse cards. You can put a card like Tatsugiri up in active. Then you can put Mega Lopunny in play, you attach an energy, and then bam, you've got Mega Lopunny, right? And then next turn, you can heal the Lopunny with like a Wally's Compassion. But I think the main thing is honestly just that 330 is a really good number to hit right now in the meta. You're one-shotting things like Dragapult, one-shotting things like Charizard, I'm pretty sure, and all those kinds of Pokemon without any drawback, right? It's just, you're just knocking it out. And sure, you have to discard 2 energy, but that's honestly not the end of the world when you can kind of just get it back with something like Electric, right? And obviously it has to be to your benched Pokemon, so you just use your Switch, right? You just use your Switch into your Tatsugiri, which might have an air balloon attached to it, and then you not only get to use your Attract Customers, you also get to attach your energy to Glide again. Also, really cool attack name, Glide. It's pretty sick. And then just retreat back into the Mega Dragonite and swing for 330 again. So you'll probably pair this up with things like Prime Catcher, I'm guessing, right? As well, because, I mean, it's just pretty good. Or another really cool card that you could pair this up with would be the Neo Up Energy, right? That is something that Dragapult likes to do as well. And you discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, you can discard the Neo Up Energy, right? So I think this Pokemon definitely has some potential when you pair it up just because it just swings so hard. And against most decks, it doesn't have a weakness, and most decks can't swing for 370, right? Most decks can't swing for 370, and you can use something like a Wally's Compassion to fully heal Mega Dragonite while using your electric to just power it back up, right? And I feel like obviously while you're powering that up, you can start swinging with Mega Lopunny as well in the early game. And I think honestly this deck could be like, there's probably something to it with this whole Mega Dragonite thing. You can also abuse cards like Klefki, honestly any card that can sit an active with an ability. And yeah, right, that's basically all I was going to talk about for Mega Dragonite. If you just came here for the Mega Dragonite, then you can probably click off of this video. We're going to be going over just the sick ass artworks of these next cards, right? Like, I mean, dude, this is some of the coolest, I think this is some of the coolest artworks we have seen in ages, right? It is pretty damn sick. Like, I mean, bro, okay, these are the Japanese cards. It's, you know, might be quite funny to see the English on it. And obviously you've got the Japanese in the English cards. But yeah, so shout out PokeBeach for that. It was just a very short video, basically. Just wanted to speak about Mega Dragonite quickly, because I don't know. I think I'm gonna experiment with this card. I think it looks pretty good. I think it's pretty fun. But yeah, that's about it. Peace.